Hi and welcome to my first YouTube video. I'm going to kick it off today with a nice one. We're going to do a resurrection video. Been into old plants and machinery with quite a while and love watching those kind of videos on YouTube, and I've managed to track something very special down for this first video. So I'm hoping you like this video. If you do, make sure you hit the like button and subscribe so that you can see future installments. So let's get started. And here it is. This is a 1991 Caterpillar 206 BFT, 13-ton rubber duck. It is in pretty rough shape, as you can see. The story with this one is it burst the hydraulic hose while idling a few years back. It was left unattended. Timber grabbing the front of it, it ended up pumping the hydraulic tank dry and destroying the pump. Well, as far as we can ascertain on it, the pump is wrecked in this thing. They fixed the hose, refilled it with oil, and nothing worked in the machine apart from the steering. Now there are a number of pumps on this cat. There's a main pump, there's two little auxiliary pumps that sit in the back of it, and then there's a small electric pump. I'm not sure what that does, but I think it might be something to do with the braking system. So what we're going to do is we're going to, first of all, I'm going to take you on a tour of the machine. We'll take a walk around, look at its general condition, and then probably pull the hydraulic pump, take it apart, see how bad it is, and in future videos we will try and get the engine fired up. So nothing else to do except to get started. Thanks. Okay, let's take a look at this thing in more detail. Starting here at the back, that is the battery box, and you can see the radiators and coolers in there. Base is rotted out of that box, so some work to do there. Looking towards the front of the machine, then it's just a toolbox, getting pretty badly battered. So get up here on top, have a look. Main hydraulic hoses for the boom. They're all appear to be in pretty good condition. I think they'll certainly do for the moment. There has been some messing around done alright though, because of the fact that this machine was fitted with a grab instead of a bucket. So I'm gonna have to do a little bit of plumbing, sort out a few things, some funky stuff going on out there in the boom. So digging ram is disconnected and quick hitch is removed. Looking at the rest of the tin work on it is good enough. I'll just open up the catwalk and I'll have a look under it at the main hydraulic controls. So that's the main valve block. Again, it's not in bad condition. This is a servo machine. It's got just a pair of joysticks in the cab, so there's quite a big valve lock on it to operate all that. So you have the low pressure coming from the controls in the cab, operating high pressure valves. A little bit concerned about the amount of metal that's possibly gone in there, so it's something they're going to have to look at in more detail. That is just the back of the hydraulic tank over there, so you can see the main pickups. That is the high pressure return, so the filters live under there. So I'm going to pull those in a minute and see how much metal is in there. And just lift up the cover now and have a look at the engine. This is a Caterpillar 3114, but I'm not sure if it's a proper cat engine or is it a dye that's branded as a cat. Water cooled 4-cylinder turbo. I think are about 95 horsepower if I remember correctly. Built in 1991, according to the plate. We'll need to try and get this engine fired up before we go too much further with this machine. So the quick hitch has been removed and the digging ram was disconnected. This machine was running with a timber grab, so pipework's a bit funky. Gonna have to go through that and put it back the way it should be. So that's gonna be some fun. Looking at the rest of the machine, tires are kind of mixed and matched, but there's plenty of tires thrown around here, so I'm sure we can find something better to put under it. The slew gear and all that good stuff seems to be alright, and the drive line is intact. Apparently these drive motors and everything were fine before the machine was parked up, so I have no reason to think there's anything wrong with them now. The machine was just sat idling at the point that the pump broke up, so hopefully there's no metal in there. Just going around the back, the blade hydraulics are disconnected, so it could be raised and towed down here. Machine is generally a little bit grubby, needs a good clean up, and if I can get the thing to run, I might try and pretty it up a small bit as well. Needs a new tire in this corner. That air cleaner and ground, I'll come to that later. We need that. Just more of the pipe work in there. Cab, as you can see, is pretty good shape. No serious rust. One piece of glass missing. The missing door is another part of the yard. Just looking in here again at some of the nest of pipe work. Just hope there's nothing major in there, and I hope it don't start blowing hoses the minute that this thing is put together, if it is put together. So just have a look inside the cab. Again, pretty much everything seems to be there, pretty much intact. Looks like some kind of 40 was living in the cab of this machine for a while. Let's give you a look around. It's actually not in bad condition in here. Let's try now. Let's try and get into position. This control console needs a bit of cleaning up. Levers. So, just over 10,000 hours. There's the identification plate. So, next step is to pull the hydraulic filters, have a look at them, see what we're dealing with, see how much metal is in there and things. So this is the return, so it's filtered on the return. We've got 2 filters under here, and we've got a further filter for the servo down lower in the system. So we're just going to take this one out first, and okay, so that's the assembly. And sorry now, kind of short-handed today, so on the camera as well as doing this. And it's our first filter. I'll pop that down there. And our second filter. Now, as you would expect, it is pretty full of metal. Don't get excited, that is not gold. That is the brass from the inside of the pump. So that's the bottom one. And top one, as you would expect. It's got more metal in it. So that is probably not the greatest sign in the world. So what's the plan with this one? Well, I think we've done all we can. Sits in the machine, just looking over it the way it is. The next obvious step is to pull the main hydraulic pump, open it up, see how much damage is done. Depending on the level of damage and cost of repairing it, I think we'll try firing up the engine once we've assessed that. No, we might just fire the engine up regardless, just for the fun of it. Hasn't run in, I think, somewhere between about 5 and 7 years, so could be an interesting one. And obviously if the engine runs and the repairable isn't huge, we'll try putting some money into it, bolting it back together and see can we get it to work. Now, the other issue that is sitting out there is that the metal could have travelled quite far through the system. It could be in the servo system, it could be everywhere, and it could cause untold problems. And I mean, I have been warned about this. Guys have told me just walk away from it, but and as I say, it's very, very easy to get kind of drawn in by the whole resurrection video thing and the idea of free machines. It's always very tempting, but machines like this typically end up sitting where they are for a reason. I mean, I've spoken to the owner in detail, so I know the story behind this one, but he has given me the go ahead to mess about with it, see how it goes. If I can get it to work, we might do a deal on it, or might just use it to do my own work, hand it back. We'll figure that out if and when we get it to run. So I get that. That's about it. It is time to get ripping. So need to get some tools and equipment and get going hauling this pump. Okay, so left half my tools behind me and just decided that the BMW really isn't designed to go down farm tracks, so off again, take my work truck. So what I'm planning to do is build some kind of a little bit of a wooden structure under the pump. All the hydraulic hoses are disconnected at this point, and try and slide the pump out in some timbers out under the hydraulic tank, and pick it up then with the loader and bring it back to the workshop and open it up. Okay, sun's out, made some progress up here in the engine compartment. Got all the hoses disconnected now under the machine, and just removing the last of the bell housing bolts and try and get this pump off the machine. Okay, pump's starting to move. Just see there the bell housing and the drive is starting to come apart. Got it expertly slinged onto the loader in the 6610. Let's take you down there and show you. Oh. Managed to step in the hydraulic oil, so everything's fairly greasy. So a couple of bits of steel underneath, suspended off the loader. I'm just going to try and pull it out. Okay, so we're nearly there with the pump. Have it most of the way out of the machine. Got my loader there just to give it a bit of support, just in case. Got the 531 on the back of it, just to give it a little bit of a lift. So we'll try and bring it out onto my forks and get it clear of the machine. Here she comes. Okay, so there she is, sitting on the loader.
That's where she came from. You can see the coupling in there is undamaged. I'm just going to wrap up some of these hoses so no dirt can get into them, and transport this thing back to the workshop, open it up and see how she looks. Let's give you a view of it. There, there's actually at least 2 pumps on there. There's a Bosch on the back. The main pump is a Lende, so get this thing back, get it open up, see what's happening. So that's it for this episode. First YouTube video in the bag. Hopefully you enjoyed it. If you did, I'd appreciate it if you take the time to hit the like button and to subscribe so that you don't miss future installments. Obviously next episode we will be pulling the pump apart, assessing the damage, sourcing parts, hopefully, and fixing it, and we'll also try and fire the engine up. So that'd be interesting, so stick around for that. If you have any comments on what you've just seen, please leave them below. I'd really appreciate some feedback. As I said, it's the first video. Going to be working on stuff like my camera work and sound, lighting, just generally trying to improve my presentation. So speaking of which, if you have suggestions for cameras and mics that you're using in your channel, I'd really appreciate if you drop some links down below, something that would be suitable for my kind of work. Fantastic. Thanks again. Have a good one.